Good morning. Good morning, loves. Welcome back to Bookie Monsters. My name is PK. I am the Bookie Monster. We are all Bookie Monsters because we love books and are voraciously reading them, looking for new books all the time, which is what we're doing here. We're looking at the new releases each week. Each day of the week, Monday through Friday, we look at a different genre of being released this week. Yesterday was mysteries. Today we're going to be looking at romances. And tomorrow we will be looking at fantasy, science fiction, cozy mysteries, whatever we have time for the next 25 minutes. We're going to be looking at stuff. Hi, Mary. Good morning, and everyone. Happy Tuesday. Dark and overcast here in Virginia. Possibility of rain. All right. We are going to be in the 80s today, but I think this is the warmest of the week. It's going to be going down after that. I'm okay with that. I love fall. I like it cooler. Let's see. What am I reading? Today is release day. Happy Tuesday, release day. I am still listening to Killers of a Certain Age. Still reading Network Effect by Martha Wells, but today released The Running Grave by Robert Galbraith, the seventh in that Private Eye series. Robert Galbraith, of course, is the pseudonym for J.K. Rowling. So this is a big book. It's 960 pages. Kindle is always released at midnight of release day, which means I get it at 10 p.m. So I got it last night at 10, and yes, I woke up and started reading it, so I'm at 3%. The title, from what the author likes to put little blurbs at the beginning of each paragraph, and usually they're either poems or songs. In this case, it looks like the title, The Running Grave, comes from a line by a Bob Dylan song. And so, but the epigraphs, is that what the word I'm thinking of is? Each chapter looks to be from the I Ching this time around. So it'll be an interesting mix. We're just getting started. Okay, let us put a pause on that. Let's start looking at some romances. This is starting on bookriot.com. Again, this is not a comprehensive website. They just show what they want to show. So we'll start here anyway. This is A British Girl's Guide to Hurricanes and Heartbreak by Laura Taylor Namey. This is a young adult romance. This is a companion to a Reese Witherspoon choice, which, give or take, if that's something that influences you. Winchester, England has always been home for Flora, but when her mother dies after a long illness, Flora feels untethered. Her family expects her to apply to university and take a larger role in their tea shop business, but Flora isn't so sure. More than ever, she's the chaotic hurricane in her household, and she doesn't always know how to manage her stormy emotions. So she decides to escape to Miami without telling anyone, especially her longtime friend Gordon Wallace. But Flora's tropical change of scenery doesn't cast away her self-doubt. When it comes to university, she has no idea which passions she should follow. That's also true in romance. Flora's summer abroad lands her in the flashbulb world of teen influencer Baz Marin, a Miami Cuban who shares her love for photography. But Flora is more conflicted than ever when she begins to see future architect Gordon in a new light. Along Came Holly by Cody Hall. In print for the first time. Cody Hall's Mistletoe, Idaho series features small town holiday fun. Holly Winters owns the jolliest holiday shop on Main Street, and this season is shaping up to be the best yet. The only pit in her figgy pudding? Declan Gallagher, the owner of the hardware store next door. He's the scroogiest man in all of Mistletoe, Idaho. For some reason, that's just a hard one to say. Then Holly's revenge prank escalates into an all-out war between her grinchy neighbor, and the situation turns sticky when she realizes she needs his help. Declan can't believe the nerve of his oh-so-cheerful neighbor hiring him to set up her holiday lights display, but the money is too good to pass up. Despite his other loathing of excessive decorations, he throws himself into getting the job done, only to encounter sabotage at every turn. To his astonishment, Declan finds himself championing the very woman who used to get under his skin. Then one rooftop kiss has him thinking maybe the season's traditions aren't as heinous as he believed. Declan's heart has grown three sizes since Holly came along, but how can he admit he's falling for the one woman he shouldn't want? We're going to be getting a whole lot of Christmassy puns for the next couple months. Love, Holly. Emily Stone is the author. A young woman tries to heal a rift in her elderly pen pal's family in time for Christmas, all while falling in love and maybe even reuniting with her own family in this dazzling romance from the author of Always in December and One Last Gift. Ever since an accident 3 years ago, Holly has been part of a Lonely Hearts letter writing club for the holidays. The tradition is something she has come to treasure. Each December, she writes to a stranger who is also spending Christmas alone and receives a letter from another lonely person. Usually, the letters go unanswered. That's the point. The letters are anonymous, and the sender writes whatever is in their heart. But this year, the letter Holly receives is different. Not only is the letter full of a grief she knows all too well, but its writer, Emma, mentions a place that Holly has visited. When she realizes she might actually be able to find the letter's author, Holly becomes determined to reunite Emma with the estranged grandson, Jack, that she's desperate to reconnect with. And when Holly finally tracks him down, she realizes she's met Jack once before, and the connection was electric. The spark between the two of them is still there until a misunderstanding risks their burgeoning romance and his strained relationship with Emma, too. But Holly is determined. If she can fix Emma's family, she might also be able to fix her own. Though, as it turns out, Holly might have less time to put things right than she thought. Dot, 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 dot. And Time to Shine by Rachel Reed. For Landon Stackhouse, being called up from the Calgary farm team is exciting and terrifying, even if as the backup goalie he rarely leaves the bench. A quiet loner by nature, Landon knows he gives off strong "don't talk to me" vibes. The only player who doesn't seem to notice is Calgary's superstar young winger Casey Hicks. Casey treats Landon like an old friend, even though they've only interacted briefly in the past. He's endlessly charming and completely laid back in a way that Landon absolutely can't relate to. They couldn't have less in common, but Landon needs a place to live that's not a hotel room, and Casey has just bought a massive house and hates being alone. As roommates, Casey refuses to be defeated by Landon's one-word answers. As friends, Landon becomes to notice a few things about Casey, like his wide, easy smile and sparkling green-blue eyes. Spending the holidays together only intensifies their bromance turned romance, but as the new year approaches, the countdown to the end of Landon's time in Calgary is on. And that is the ones on Book Riot. Once again, not a lot according to them. But wait, we have more. Sure don't like the covers. Yeah, not a fan of cartoonish covers. Me either. Oh well, don't necessarily reflect on the content contained within. A prejudice I should get over. No, covers are supposed to be the first draw in. That's their purpose. And if you don't like them, you're not going to see what's inside. And marketers and publishers need to get that feedback too. It's okay. All right, where are we? The Christmas Wager by Holly Cassidy. One rivalry, 8 days until Christmas. Let the holiday games begin. When LA-based real estate developer Bella Ross arrives in the sleepy mountain town of Maple Falls, she has one mission: to acquire the local failing Christmas shop, Always Noel, securing the promotion of her dreams. Nothing can get in her way, except the shop owner's stubborn grandson, Jesse Harrison. Both refuse to budge until an unlikely wager is struck. Bella and Jesse will compete in the Maple Falls Holiday Games, an annual tradition of eccentric feats of strength and skills. Winner decides the selling price. They'll give each other a run for their money, but as the competition heats up, Bella and Jesse's icy feelings towards each other begins to thaw. It'll take a Christmas miracle for them to admit there's a spark, but what if it's just another game? That sounds very Hallmark movie-ish, but often you're in the mood for a Hallmark movie. And they do just suck you in, don't they? Okay, the Xmas holidays by Zoe Allison. It's hard to escape your ex when you're working together over Christmas in the Scottish Highlands. Oh, got my attention. But being stuck together might be the best possible present in this sparkling new contemporary romance. Maya Bashir is dreading her drive home for Christmas and having to explain that she's just left her high paying job and a long term relationship. So a brief detour to her friend's festive party doesn't seem like such a bad idea until Maya walks in to find the last person she wants to see. Sam, the boy who broke her heart 8 years ago, and he's serving drinks. Naked. Sam Holland is working an extra job on the sly to help his friend get by, but little did he expect Maya Bashir to come barreling back into his life, learning about his secret side hustle and taking back her old job alongside him at his daytime role as a ski instructor on the slopes of the Scottish Highlands. I think that's the name of the place. I'm kind of not Scotland. Okay. As both Sam and Maya realize their reason for heartbreak so many years ago wasn't entirely as it seemed, they must learn to stand up for what they want the most, or else miss their second chance at love. I probably forgot to share that one, didn't I? A December to Remember by Jenny Bayliss. Three bickering half-sisters, one unique antique shop, the coziest holiday season of their lives. Wildly different half-sisters Maggie, Simone, and Star have hardly seen one another since their sprightly summers at Rowanthorpe, their eccentric father Augustus's home. Known for his bustling approach to the knick-knack shop he ran, Augustus was loved by all and known by none, not even his daughters. Now, years later, the three estranged women are called upon for the reading of Augustus's will and quickly realize he's orchestrated a series of hoops through which they must jump to unlock their inheritance, the last thing any of them want to do. But Maggie and Star desperately need the money, and who would Simone be to resist? Through hilarious goose chases, small town mishaps, and one heartwarming winter solstice celebration, love is in the air if only the three sisters can let themselves grasp it. Wrapped with a bowl by Lily Vale. In its heyday, Piney Peaks and its beloved Christmas house were made famous by Sleigh Bells Under Starlight, a romantic holiday movie. 50 years later, the small town is ready for a new love story. As a successful film liaison, Alicia Rowe has her heart set on one thing and one thing only, putting her hometown back on the map. So when she gets the chance to secure the long hoped for sequel to Sleigh Bells Under Starlight, a beloved holiday movie, she's willing to do whatever it takes to make sure everything goes smoothly. Unfortunately, that includes claiming to have already gotten permission to film at the historic Christmas house, permission she was very much denied by the gorgeous new owner. City boy Wes Hollins is only back in Piney Peaks long enough to sell the house he inherited from his great aunt. The holidays have always been tough for Wes, and it's not any easier when he's distracted by memories of a Christmas long, long ago and the irresistible charm of neighbor Alicia. He has no plans to put down roots or fall in love, even if Alicia unravels his hesitations like a bad Christmas sweater. There's no question the two are opposites in every way. Bess is undeniably frosty. Alicia is brimming with warmth. He doesn't do commitment. She never runs from a challenge. But as the two grow closer, they quickly realize that the growing spark between them may be just what the season calls for. The Wake Up Call by Beth O'Leary. Two hotel receptionists and arch rivals find a collection of old wedding rings and compete to return them to their owners, discovering their own love story along the way. It's the busiest season of the year, and Forest Manor Hotel is quite literally falling apart. So when Izzy and Lucas are given the same shift on the hotel's front desk, they have no choice but to put their differences aside and see it through. The hotel won't stay afloat beyond Christmas without some sort of miracle. But when Izzy returns a guest's lost wedding ring, the reward convinces management that this might be the way to fix everything. With four rings still sitting in the lost and found, the race is on for Izzy and Lucas to save their beloved hotel and their jobs. As their bitter rivalry turns into something much more complicated, Izzy and Lucas begin to wonder if there's more at stake here than the hotel's future. Can the two of them make it through the season with their hearts intact? I bet not. Baking Christmas. Yeah, that's one of the cuter ones. This is by Carrie Winfrey. Laurel Grant is playing house for the holidays, complete with a fake husband and kids in this delightful, charming rom-com. Laurel Grant works as the social media manager for Buckeye State of Mind, an Ohio tourism magazine and website. She most definitely does not run a farm, but one tiny misunderstanding leads her boss Gilbert to think she owns her twin sister Holly's farm just outside of Columbus. Laurel only handles the social media for the farm, but she's happy to keep her little white lie going if it means not getting fired. She cannot be jobless again. And keep it going she must when Gilbert, recently dumped by his wife, invites himself over for the farm's big Christmas Eve dinner as advertised on Meadow Rise's farm Instagram, thanks to Laurel herself. Laurel immediately goes into panic mode to figure out how she can trick Gilbert into thinking she's basically the Martha Stewart of rural Ohio and keep her job in the process. Yeah, because that's a really good foundation for a relationship. Laurel and Holly come up. Oh, Laurel and Holly come up with a perfect plan. All Laurel has to do is pretend to own the farm to find an unwelcome guest is waiting. Max Beckett, her nemesis since Holly's wedding. The annoyingly attractive man she hates will be posing as Laurel's husband just for the evening, but when a snowstorm traps them all for the entire weekend, Laurel is going to have to figure out how to survive with her job and dignity intact. Whatever the case, this promises to be the most eventful Christmas in ages. Time to Shine by Rachel Reed. Oh, we did that one. Well, no kidding. That's how much it all kind of blends all together. Destiny by Helen Hart, 27th in series. Is love enough? Ava Steele is haunted by a ghost that has come back from the grave. She questions who she is and whether she's capable of being in a relationship with Brendan Murphy, the man she loves. As she shuts down her bakery, something she never does, to deal with these newly discovered secrets, she shuts down her relationship with Brendan as well. Brendan doesn't want to let Ava go, but he's dealing with his own issues. As his connection to the Steele family is finally revealed, he and the townspeople of Snow Creek face a financial crisis, one the Steeles can't help them solve. As more and more secrets are unburied from both Ava's and Brendan's past, they fight to find their way back together, but the obstacles are large and seem insurmountable. Something like Hate by Piper Rain. Well, that's an interesting cover. I love him. I loathe him. It's like plucking daisy petals in my head, but he'll never know. When Miles Cavanaugh, the best safety in the league, was traded to the Chicago Grizzlies football team last year, I could finally breathe. The temptation was miles away. How naive to think it would end there, because when the opportunity to write for a national magazine based in Chicago lands in my lap months later, I can't turn it down. Sure, it's a big city, but the sexual energy feels like a beacon between us the minute my plane lands. To make matters worse, I end up having to take over the job of reporting exclusively on the Chicago Grizzlies, which means traveling with the team, interviewing players, and pretty much having an all access pass to their lives during the season. Miles and I put up a great front, quickly hating on each other, but we both know it's a lie. We also know the rules are simple. For me, don't sleep with the subject of your articles. For him, don't sleep with the journalist who can make or break your career. I thought straight-laced Miles Kavanaugh followed all the rules. Oh, how wrong I was. And Ghosted by Sarah Reddy. Woo, first in the series. Jillian Najat is the only dating and relationship expert on the planet who is incapable of speaking to men. If they're living, if they're breathing, it's game over. With her bank account at zero, her career a dumpster fire, and her dating life in a 10-year slump, she moves into a tiny, dirt cheap New York City apartment. Unfortunately, the apartment is already occupied. Daniel, no last name, is a sexy, shirtless, six-pack wielding heartthrob who is also dead. He isn't living. He isn't breathing. He's a ghost. He's also the only man on the planet who Jillian can talk to. Soon Daniel's convinced that it's his afterlife mission to resurrect Jillian's love life. He knows if he helps her fall in love, then he can move on. Jillian agrees. The last thing she needs is a Lothario ghost haunting her living room. But then one practice date leads to another, one confession leads to more, and suddenly Jillian fears she's falling for the one man she can never have. That would be inconvenient. You almost want to read it to see how they overcome that inconvenience. But it was like 400 some pages. Do I want to spend that much time? Not really. Please Don't Go Girl by Naima Simone. This is a novella, Kindle Unlimited. I'm no one's knight in shining armor. My weapons of choice are my drumsticks and my, yeah, you get what I'm saying. Yet here I am, riding to the rescue to save Lena Graves from an ugly confrontation with her ex. It's not like I've given the little secretary who happens to be the friend of my best friend's girl much thought, but I'm not going to stand by and let her be disrespected either. When she thanks me by sinking to her knees in the club bathroom, well, I don't stop her. Whoa! Honey, thank you's just fine. Send him a tray of cookies. We were going to stop there. And we ran out of time. That's okay. That certainly was interesting. What a note that we ended on. Lightning promptly strikes and he suddenly retreats. That somebody's gonna have to read that and let us know. I hope it's not me. But I have to admit, I'm kind of intrigued. Maybe I can just skip to the end. It does go fast. It's nice that we have lots of books to look at, but it just goes by so fast. At least we got through a big chunk of them. Alright. We are at the end of the morning show. Announcements. I've got not me, said the little redhead. I have too much to read. I can't. I'm not going to pay for it either. Was it Kindle Unlimited? If it were on library, maybe. I do have sprints tonight at 6:05 Mountain Time, 8:05 Eastern. It'll go for 2.5 hours. Bring your own book, uh, work on a project, do some meditation, whatever you'd like to do. I'll be reading The Running Grave by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling. This is a 1,000 pages read challenge week, hosted by Sarah on the Bookish Knitter, and this is the perfect book to actually try to get it done in one shot, even though I'm about halfway there already. But the nice thing about her challenges is that you choose the number of pages you want to hit as your goal. It's just called the 1,000 pages challenge. You can read 750, you can read 500, you can read 250, you can read 100, whatever it is. Set your goal that you would like to. Yeah, it could even be, I want to finish one book this week, whatever it is. But it's just carving out this time to really focus on your reading time. So that is that. So sprints tonight, tomorrow morning, same time, same station. At 6 in the morning, we'll be looking at fantasy, sci-fi, and cozy mysteries for as much time as we have. And so I hope your Tuesday, it is only Tuesday, goes super good. Treat yourself well. You deserve it. And I hope you're reading good things. You deserve that too. If you're reading something you don't like, it's okay to set it down. It's not the right time. Reading is fun. As it says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom. Thank you so much. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. Tell people about us. Appreciate that. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a good day. God bless.